Convicted felon President Donald Trump just sent the finance world into a frenzy, and you will never guess why. Well, actually, this one is all too predictable. So get out the airsick bag, beautiful viewers. You're gonna be nauseous. I'm David Reddish. Welcome back to Occupy Democrats. Our breaking story does take us into the world of finance today, and cryptocurrency. You'll recall that since returning to the White House, Trump has earned billions from his own crypto venture, TrumpCoin. That may sound all well and good until you consider that there's no regulation or monitoring of where that money is coming from. Given the amount, it's safe to assume much of it is foreign, which could explain why he's suddenly warmed to countries like Pakistan and Qatar. For more on that grift, see our other videos here on the channel. Under Joe Biden, the Department of Justice began to investigate several crypto barons whom they suspected of committing financial crimes. There was Sam Bankman-Fried, the founder of FTX, a crypto exchange, who was later convicted of fraud and money laundering. He's serving a 25-year prison sentence. Then there's also Changpeng Zhao, the Chinese-Canadian founder of Binance. He pled guilty to money laundering charges too. Here's an overview.
Prison has been good to Binance founder Changpeng Zhao, who's also known as CZ. Already the richest person to go behind bars and the wealthiest person in crypto many times over, Zhao's net worth has soared since he became a felon. Forbes now estimates that he is worth $61 billion, making him the 24th richest person in the world, just after Julia Koch and family. The next richest person in crypto is Coinbase founder Brian Armstrong, at $11 billion. CZ's upward revision has two components. First, his 90% equity stake in Binance, the large crypto exchange, is valued at $33 billion, despite CZ stepping down as CEO in November 2023. He stepped down as part of a settlement with the U.S. Department of Justice, in which he pled guilty to anti-money laundering and sanctions violations. His company also paid a $4.3 billion fine to the government. However, the impact on Zhao's personal wealth was less severe, since he only had to pay a $50 million fine. In the 6 months since his plea, Binance actually increased its dominance among crypto exchanges worldwide in terms of trading volume, though it was excluded from Forbes' list of the most trustworthy crypto exchanges. According to data compiled from The Block, which is a digital assets information company, Binance's share of the total spot market across exchanges has increased to 42% in the 6 months since he left the company, from an average of 38% in the 2 months before his settlement.
In other words, Zhao is a slimeball like so many other in the cryptosphere. And if you think his crimes are gross, stick around and keep that airsick bag handy. In addition to his crypto venture, Zhao was also, somewhat shockingly, appointed by the Pakistani Ministry of Finance as a strategic advisor to the Pakistan Crypto Council. Keep that one in mind as we move forward. As that clip just pointed out, his wealth actually increased subsequent to his felony conviction, just like Donald Trump's did. Oh, and we should also mention that Binance, Zhao's company, has a partnership with TrumpCoin. In other words, Trump has a vested interest in Zhao. So it should not come as a huge surprise that this morning we learned that Trump has pardoned Changpeng Zhao. MSNBC has more.
We're following this breaking news from the White House as well, where the administration has just confirmed the president issued a pardon for the founder of a major cryptocurrency exchange. Let's go right to MSNBC White House correspondent Laura Barone-Lopez, who's back with us to follow that. What do we know about this?
Alex, that's right. So President Trump today pardoned Changpeng Zhao, the convicted founder of that cryptocurrency exchange Binance. And we have it confirmed from White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, who said that the president exercised his constitutional authority by issuing this pardon to Zhao, who was prosecuted, they say, by the Biden administration. These charges came down in 2023 when Zhao, pled guilty to charges related to money laundering. But Caroline went on to say that they essentially, despite no allegations of fraud or identifiable victims, that the Biden administration sought these charges against Zhao, and that the actions by the Biden administration, they say, severely damaged the United States' reputation on this in this front in cryptocurrency. Now, we should note, Alex, that the president's family, the Trump Organization, along with Steve Witkoff, the Middle East envoy, have ventured into cryptocurrency on their own, and this is a venture that the president's family has been heavily involved in.
Well, I warned you that you would be nauseous. First, Trump pardons that plumped-up failed drag queen George Santos. Now this? Has Donald Trump ever met a criminal he didn't like? Changpeng Zhao, Steve Bannon, the January 6th insurrectionists, George Santos, Jeffrey friggin' Epstein. Make no mistake, my beautiful viewers, this is corruption the likes of which we've seldom seen in the United States. Somewhere, President Harding, who had to fire his entire cabinet twice over the Teapot Dome scandal, is spinning in his grave. This is tantamount to paying for a pardon. It's bribery. And it's high time for a congressional investigation into Trump, his finances, his pardons, his motives, and his kickbacks. At the height of Watergate, John Dean observed that there was a cancer on the presidency. Well, now it's happening again. How soon can we have that orange tumor removed? This is Occupy Democrats.